What is going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm out here in the garage. It is really cold out here. I still haven't got my heater situation figured out quite yet, but I'm hoping to get these heads disassembled so I can get these valves out of them, and then after I get the valves out, I can put the new valves in. I'm gonna have to lap them all so that make sure they all seal real good and tight in there. And then I can reassemble everything. But it's really cold out here, so I think I'm just going to take the rocker assemblies off out here, and then I might just take everything inside the house and work on it in there where it's nice and warm. Becky is in there. She's chilling on the couch. I know it's a pandemic, so it's kind of a curse word these days, but she's kind of sick. And yeah, so she's just chilling in there on the couch. I'm gonna try not to make too much noise and bother her too much, but you guys might see her wandering around the background or whatever. But yeah, she's just chilling. So yeah, anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and get these rocker assemblies off. This first head, we'll get it inside, and then hopefully we'll start getting them valves out. All right, you guys, so got everything inside, got a tarp over the table, all nice. But yeah, so we got all that out. You can see my nice titanium valve springs and retainers are still looking all pretty in there that we put in last time we had this thing apart. So now I'm going to go ahead, get the valve spring compressor. We'll compress the valve springs, get the little keepers out of there, pull all the valves out, and then tap all of them and then reassemble. It's a very time-consuming process, and there's a lot that goes into it, but it's very important. So I don't want to rush anything. It might take a couple nights, so this video might go a few days. I don't know, so if you see me change my clothes or whatever, that's why. But yeah, so we're going to go ahead and get started on this thing, guys. And see how far we can get. Alright guys, so we're going to go ahead and get this valve spring compressor out. Maybe. Maybe not. Sheesh. This thing's stuck. Wow, all right. So, put this guy together. Okay, so we gotta find what size our retainers are. That looks about perfect. So they are 25 millimeter, if any guys are curious. I think this valve spring compressors for small engines. My buddy Kyle got it off of Amazon, relatively cheap, but it works perfectly for these J-series heads. So just set the bottom little foot on the bottom of the valve to hold it up, and then we'll tighten this down onto the retainer, like so. Okay. We'll just compress the spring until the little keepers pop out, and then once they pop out, I'll grab them with my magnet here. There we go. Got the little keepers there. So now we can let this back out, and then we're free. The valve spring retainer and the valve will all come out, and we can move on to the next one. We're gonna get this done. Boom, that's done. There's your spring and your retainer. And we'll push the valve out of the bottom. And there we are. So I think I might actually just go get my new valves and just do them, pull one out, put one back in. We'll have to go ahead and lap it when we put it back in, and then we can put the spring and retainers back on and just continue on down the line. We've got 12 per head, so 24 total, so it's going to take a while, but we'll get it done. Alright guys, I also just wanted to show you real quick. So on the stock valves, you can see that it has kind of that indent in the middle. So on these high compression valves, they're just flat, there's no indent. So 4 valves per cylinder, filling in that indent in the middle will bump the compression up quite a bit. And then that paired with the stroker kit, high compression pistons, this thing's gonna make a whole bunch of compression and a whole bunch of horsepower. So yeah, we'll go ahead and get these things in. So now we're going to put some of our valve grinding compound just around the outside on that kind of chrome part of the valve you can see. We're going to put it on that, slide the valve up into the head, and then we'll stick the suction cup on the end of it and spin it. And we're basically sanding that surface so that it matches the surface of the head perfectly, and we don't get any compression loss or air loss from the cylinder. So I'm going to flip the head up on its side. I'm going to use both hands for this, so I'll just set the camera down and hopefully we can get a decent video of it. And then, yeah, I'll try to show you guys how it's done. Alright, so take this, just kind of, I don't know if you guys can see or not, just kind of put it on the edge of the valve all the way around, like that. Should be plenty, you don't need too much. So you can see it on there. Now we'll take the valve, stick it up here. Maybe find the hole. There we go. Boom. Now we'll stick our little suction cup to it. Give her a twist. You can hear it. I don't know if you can, but I can hear it grinding. I can feel it too in my hand. So I just want to give that, make sure it's good and ground down. It doesn't take much. You don't have to put much force on it. That valve grinding compound is getting all over the end of the valve now. It's making it very difficult. But I'll grab it from up here and try to turn it with my fingers up here. So what we're going to do now, after we give that a good, you call lapping, and you feel comfortable with it, we'll pull the valve back out, clean the valve, clean the port, and then put the valve back in and shine some light down through either the, well, I guess shine the light towards the bottom of the head, and I'll see if I can see it through the exhaust port. And then if you don't see any light, you know your seal is good, and you're good to go. If you do see light, keep grinding, check again. So that's all. Alright guys, we just got all of the exhaust valves in. So here's all the old ones. You can see they're pretty crusty. Not good. So yeah, we got the new valves in. I tested all of them with the light. There's little to no light getting through there, so we're good there. I mean almost none. There's like this valve right here, I think you can just barely see a hint of light through. So yeah, now we're gonna go ahead and move on to the intake valves. I'll probably just knock those out and call it a night for tonight, and then resume this another day. So we'll go out to the garage, grab all the intake valves, and then we'll get started with those. What is up, guys, and welcome back. It has now been a few days since I started lapping those valves, as you guys were seeing. I just wanted to give you guys an update on what's going on. A lot of stuff has happened between then and now. So I talked to Mike, Becky's dad, my future father-in-law, and because he runs a machine shop and he worked at Indy Cylinder Heads for years, which, speaking of Indy Cylinder Head. But anyways, I was talking to him about lapping the valves and the issues that I was seeing when I was doing it. And he told me that typically when you get new valves, you want to grind them, and that makes them sit flush with the head and then lap them. And that's why I'm seeing light through. When I shine my flashlight underneath my head, I can see the light coming through around the valves. So he said lapping them alone isn't going to get that out. I'll be sitting here lapping them for freaking 10 hours or whatever to try to get them out. And yeah, so anyways, luckily he has a valve grinder at his shop. And so I went up there today with the plans of grinding the valves and putting them in. And when I got there, I got my heads out of the car and we were talking about them and whatnot. And I don't think he realized just how stock my car was. But anyways, long story short, he suggested that we port and polish the heads. So he is showing me how to do that by hand. So tonight when we were at the shop, we went ahead and polished this one here, that cylinder. So he basically he did most of it and showed me what to do so that way I can continue that onto these two and the three on that head. And then once that we get them all polished, then we'll go ahead and port them. Then we'll grind the valves. We'll get all the valves sitting in there real nice. And yeah, he had some other ideas that he's thinking about trying to and to boost the power also. So a couple surprises coming here and there, and it'll be very informative. That man is a genius when it comes to engines. I have never met somebody before that knows as much as he does, especially when it comes to making like real big power. As you guys have seen, he has quite a few cars that make real big power. So he knows what he's doing when it comes to engines and how to make horsepower. I completely trust every word he says. So I'm just going to be a sponge, absorb all the information I can, and try to pass it along to you guys as best I can, so to help with all of your guys' builds and whatnot. So with that being said, I couldn't be more thankful for Mike and all the help he's given me. And, you know, being my future father-in-law, it's really cool that he's kind of welcoming me with such open arms. I'm very flattered and very humbled by that situation. But enough of that. I'm probably not going to continue on any more of this tonight. I'm going to get to it. I'll probably start doing it again tomorrow, maybe the next day. But yeah, we'll slowly get all 6 of them done. I'm in no rush because, like I said, it's winter, so what can I do with the car anyways? So I'm going to take my time, get those looking all real nice, and then we'll go from there. Oh, one other thing. I got some bad news. My block might be junk. So when I took my pistons out. I have them around here somewhere. I don't know where they're at. But I took them out. I was cleaning them. And as I was taking the rings out, I noticed that on one of the pistons, the middle ring the end of it had come out and like folded up against the side of the piston. So instantly I was like, oh crap, my block's probably trash. So I came out here and I was looking at all the cylinder walls. And sure enough, on this one here, I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's got a pretty big gouge right there. It's not super deep, but it's pretty wide. So I don't know. We might be able to hone it out. I really don't know. It's 50-50. If anybody will be able to fix it, it will be Mike. So next time I go to the shop, I'm going to take it up there and see what he thinks. So with that being said, all of that has happened. And yeah, so we will resume this video when I get to polishing the rest of my heads. So I will see you then. What is up, guys? I'm back out here in the garage now. We're gonna get to work on these heads. It is brisk tonight. I was hoping to be able to do this inside, but I don't wanna get those metal shavings all over the place inside my house. So I'm just gonna go ahead and come out here and do it in the cold. So yeah, I'll find a place to put the GoPro and we'll get to work on these things. it's probably been a good 45 minutes or so. I just got the first bank of valves done. So you can see they're nice and polished. Everything looks real nice and smooth as compared to the other ones. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and polish all 6 banks of valves, and then we'll go ahead and take them up to the shop and port them. But for now, I just gotta put in the elbow grease and the legwork of polishing, and it takes forever. So I plan this to be at least a good week and a half project to get them all nice and smooth. And then we can move on from there, but we gotta get to this part of it first, which, you know, isn't exactly ideal, but needs to be done, and it's free horsepower. It just takes work, that's all it is. So yeah, I'm gonna continue on with this. I'm probably done for tonight. My goal is to do 1 bank per night, get it done in 6 nights. So we'll see how well that stays on track. But yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna film all of it, because it's probably just a bunch of, you know, it's gonna be a bunch of boring time lapses of me just doing exactly what you just saw. So I'll probably just skip from now until when I get it completely done. So we will see you guys on the other side of this. All right, guys, it has now been probably 2 weeks or so since the last time I made a video. I've been out here just sanding my butt off on these heads, trying to get these things polished up so we can get to porting on them and put my valves in. It has been a ton of work. I'd say I probably easily have 12 to 16 hours in just sanding on the heads right now. But I just finished up. They are, well, I guess I'm not really done, but I got all of it. I got all 6 banks done. You see how nice and shiny they all are now. But there's still a couple spots on some of them that I see that I could use another go. So I'm just gonna give it one last once over, probably spend, you know, another 6 hours or so sanding, get them completely perfect, or at least as close to as I can before I take them back up to Becky's dad and he tells me it's not good enough. So I wanna make sure that everything's in order and everything looks good before I even worry about taking them up there. And that way we can just move on with the process. So I'm gonna make sure all that's good, spend, you know, some more time working on that here, but I just wanted to make a video to let you guys know, you know, I am working at it, I'm working hard, it's just a lot of work and it takes a lot of time. So unfortunately this video is just being drug out over the course of a week, or over the course of a month, I'm sorry. So yeah, that's where we're at here, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and end this video with this. I just wanted to let you guys know that I did get them done and I still have a little bit of work to do. Side note, I know I showed you guys in a previous video, but unfortunately I think my block is trash. I don't know if you can see it actually right there or not, but this got some pretty good gouge marks there on the inside of one of the cylinders, because when I put my pistons in it last year, or the year before, whenever I assembled it last, one of the rings had popped out just a hair, and it just gouged the whole block up and down. So unfortunately, I don't think that block's gonna be savable. I don't think it's even really worth the headache trying. I'll probably end up just making something cool out of it, like a coffee table for my bar out here or something, who knows. But for now, tomorrow, Becky and I are heading up north to pick up a new block. It's another J32A3 block, just like this one. I'm not sure if he's giving me the crank with it or not. I don't believe he is, or I think he is actually, but I don't really need it. So if he does, that'd be awesome. I'd have a couple spares, but if not, that's also fine, because like I said, I'm stroking this one out, so it doesn't really matter. So yeah, we're heading up there in the morning to pick that up, and that'll be the beginning of the next video that you guys will see. So for now, I just wanted to give you guys an update of what's going on out here. I've been busting my butt trying to get these heads looking good and sanded, so it's just taking some time. So sorry about that, guys. Hopefully this video is long enough to be somewhat entertaining, but we will see. I want to go ahead and move on with this and start a new video here soon. So with that, guys, we will see y'all in the morning when we're heading up to pick up my new block. But until then, thank you guys for watching, and we will see you in the morning.